So there's been some really crazy stuff in the news about Keigo Oyamada. I've just been in a total, just blocking everything out. I'm like swamped with work, running a business. Sometimes you just have to tune everything out and just get a bunch of stuff done. But I felt like I really needed to talk about this. Keigo Oyamada was given a role as a composer for the opening ceremony of the Tokyo Olympics. But he resigned on Monday because it came to light that in the past he had a reputation for bullying and abuse. And at first it's like, okay, well, I mean, yeah, that's unfortunate. And he seems to be doing the right thing because he's resigning, right? But then you look into it a little bit more. This was actually high profile enough that there was a magazine interview kind of in the mid-90s about this bullying and about this abuse. This wasn't just simple bullying. I'm gonna get back to that later, but it sounds like the attitude that he had towards the whole situation in the interviews is that he really didn't show any remorse at all, and he just sort of acknowledged it and brushed it aside. So this caused a big backlash in the news. Pointed out, like, this is not something that we can have tarnishing our image right now. The Olympics are already something that a lot of people are questioning. Given what's going on in the world right now, it doesn't surprise me that they would want to take care of such a well, the whole thing's just such a bad look for them. So on Friday he issued an apology that just really super fell flat, like not a good apology. I am very sorry that my participation in the music production of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic and Paralympic Games made many people feel very uncomfortable. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. As you have pointed out, it is true that in past magazine interviews I spoke of my thoughtless remarks and actions towards my classmates in my school days and people with disabilities at neighboring schools without reflecting on what I did at the time. And I will take it seriously that I deserve to be criticized. Thanks to your various suggestions, I had the opportunity to reflect on and rethink my own situation. I would like to thank you for all of your comments, and I would like to express my heartfelt apologies not only to my classmates who've been hurt, but also to my fans, friends, and those concerned who have been distrustful and displeased due to my unfaithful attitude for years. I will always ask myself how I should be as a person and as a musician, and how I can contribute to the world and the people around me, and I will do my best to make the best decision. And to me, that's just a really bad apology. To me, the way that an apology works is you're not just focusing on yourself for the whole thing. The way that he just says, I now regret what I did. I was immature. It just feels a little bit like he's just brushing it off. He's like, oh yeah, I've already moved so far beyond that. The nonchalantness of I always ask myself how I should be as a musician, that's a really bad look. I'm super not impressed about that. You know, people talk a little bit about cancel culture and stuff like this. Like, this is not that, and I don't like that a lot of the conversation seems to be going in that direction, because when people reach out to you to do something or to take a role in something, you have to be careful in saying yes to that. You have to realize that there's a little bit more of a nuance to some of these things, especially in the Olympics. Like, when this wasn't bullying like my high school bully pushed me into a locker and I dropped my textbooks. Like, this was like really disgusting, vile sexual abuse and humiliation. And I can speak as somebody who's been bullied myself, that kind of stuff, you know, if I think back to any, like elementary school, middle school, I think most of what I think back to is bullying. And I didn't even experience anything to the magnitude of what these victims did. So, to be offered the role for a key creative component in something that is supposed to empower people who are disabled and overcoming their disabilities, I just think that's like it's so beyond tone deaf. It's like, it's borderline vulgar. I think that speaks a lot about his character, though. Somebody else also pointed out that there's a paradox in his statement where he and his friends visited the victim's home to apologize after a couple of years, but I guess it was denied, or it didn't happen, or didn't go through or something. But then when he gave whatever show or media or whatever that was on, he was just laughing through the whole thing and not taking it seriously. Super not cool. So I don't really know what to think now, honestly. You know, it really sucks that when one of our, you know, like someone we idolize or role model comes out to have something that really either shows something really negative about their character, or, you know, they do something terrible. Like that sucks. That you feel cheated when that happens. And I guess I kind of have to wait a little bit longer and see what else really comes to light before I can really form too much of an opinion on the whole matter. But really, I guess this is just one of those things where it's like, time will tell. Like, will he be remembered for abuse? It would be good if we got some more information, but something tells me that somebody who does something like that when they're 15 years old, I'm just sort of the opinion that by the time you're that age, your personality basically pretty much like 85% of what it's going to be for the rest of your life. So I kind of expect that we're gonna hear more bad things about Keigo Oyamada.